Hi everyone, my name is Raquel Goulart. I am part of Klabin's Corporate Automation Technology Management, and it's a great pleasure to be here to talk a little bit about the 4.0 industry, digital transformation, and this whole phase we are going through in Klabin. Klabin is a centenary company, but also a company that has a great focus in innovation and technology. And we are walking the path of digital transformation, this journey of digital transformation using technologies, habilitating technologies from the 4.0 industry. And to understand this topic a little better, I have a guest today, Professor Elaine from Sherbrooke University in Canada, to discuss this topic with us. How are you, Elaine? How are you, Raquel? Thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here. Elaine, just to begin, I would like you to talk a little bit about the 4.0 industry and digital transformation. In your view, what is the 4.0 industry? What does it represent? I think this is all very interesting. And I think that lately there is a lot of confusion. The 4.0 industry is a movement that was implemented by the German government exactly to encourage companies in the industrial and the manufacturing sector to integrate novel technologies and to make use of these technologies to improve, to become more efficient, to develop new marketing opportunities and new opportunities with customers. And for the industrial and the manufacturing sector, this term became very strong because Germany is a country that has a lot of influence in this area. However, in other activity sectors, the same movement, which is the introduction of emerging technologies and disruptive technologies to improve processes and to challenge the value proposition of organizations, is named digital transformation. So we hear a lot about these two terms, but it's important to bear in mind that in the industrial and the manufacturing sector, this movement, the movement of digital transformation, is represented by the 4.0 industry. However, what we see is that a lot of attention was given to the technology side of things, and we must recognize the great innovation potential they bring to organizations, rather than keeping the focus on technology per se. And what is the impact of digital transformation and the 4.0 industry in organizations? The impact is of different kinds, so to speak. From a technological standpoint, because we are experiencing this in our personal life, this transformation, this great digital transformation with the introduction of technology in several activities of daily living, and the same happens in organizations. So there is a very significant impact in activities and processes in companies and in the competences of different ranks of professionals within organizations, from blue-collar workers to agricultural workers to, we can even say, the delivery of products and services in the market. Technology permeates everything, so the impact is technological, organizational, and also social, and I mean society as a whole, because we are all affected by this transformation. And it is, as was alluded to in the World Forum, since 2016, people have been talking about a fourth industrial revolution. And to me, this fourth industrial revolution is something that we should understand, because in previous revolutions we saw the emergence of technologies that had a single purpose, but that over time contaminated different spheres of human life. If we think about the first industrial revolution, we saw the creation of steam-operated machines for use in the textile industry, but very quickly it was used in trains, transportation, reducing the time required to go from point A to point B. This allowed greater exchange of information between people, and it led to a revolution, an industrial revolution that was later recognized as such. And we are currently going through a very similar process, because these technologies, we think about them from an organizational standpoint, as a company, they used to improve performance, but there are impacts on different levels, and we are all affected by these technologies in our daily routines as a society, and we can see these just by working from home, as we are doing right now. So I would say technology permeates everything. It's true, Elaine. These technologies from the 4.0 industry, the concept is much broader. It's not limited to technology or companies. The technology that comes from the 4.0 industry encompasses all areas, sectors, and segments of our society. And we now have to create systems, a digital ecosystem that includes our customers, our suppliers, our partners, and our society. And we use these competences from the technology that comes from the 4.0 industry to improve our processes and to obtain return at all levels of the company. In your view, which of these competences can Klabin use to innovate? If we think about the technological potential that we now have, I think it no longer gives a competitive edge to companies. Looking at Klabin, and I've been following some of Klabin's initiatives, and I know you have been investing a lot in technology and in the education of professionals. You have this vision already, and this event shows that you have a vision that is centered on innovation. This is very interesting, because according to our research, we know that to achieve the full potential of this digital transformation in organizations, or to apply these technologies from the 4.0 industry and extract value from them, to create value from them, you must think about technological competences, which are the investments in technology, but we must also think about the organizational competences, which are the programs in the organization that encourage the use of technology, that make room for different employees or workers to experiment and to come up with innovative ideas. So we talk about the competences of people, because we can value the competence of those who have it and keep on promoting it, but we can also exclude those who do not have the competences required to work with technology, a technology that's more and more sophisticated and advanced. So organizations must be aware of the need for these competences, because in my opinion, they intersect to a certain extent, and it is in this intersection between organizational, technological, and human competences, the competences of people, that the company may find value creation in a different manner, thinking about a value proposition that will be understood by customers from a different perspective relative to other companies that will be using the same technologies. So more and more people talk about artificial intelligence and other advanced technologies that still rely to a great extent on the input and the insights and the intuition provided by people who are familiar with the context, who are familiar with the needs, who understand the needs of people. And from this point on, we can refine our value proposition to keep moving forward towards perpetuity. And this will allow the company to become a so-called organization of the future. So it's all about collaboration and co-creation, which are so important for the industry. And just to wrap up, Elaine, which are the future perspectives associated with digital transformation and innovation? According to our view, we believe that organizations should see digital transformation not as an end per se. They should not think of the implementation and integration of technology as the final goal. Rather, we should think about the progression, about the journey, the pathway. I would say the journey towards perpetuity. And we can think about four major dimensions. First, to take hold of technologies and different organizational competences, human and technological, to become a more sensitive company, more sensitive to the environment. And this can mean different things, such as the use of capture system or sensors to collect data on the factory floor. We can use social media data or data from other sources to have a better understanding of customer needs. So to use all the potential provided by data sources to have a better understanding of the environments in which the company evolves. The second point would be the use of this data, to value this data to make better decisions. So to be a company that is sensitive to the environment that leads to evolution, but also a smart company that uses this data in a conscious manner regarding strategic goals and regarding its own value proposition. And the third dimension would be to have an organization that's more and more focused on sustainable development. What does it mean? It means that if there is a better understanding of the environment and of customer needs, and if better decisions are made, decisions which are more conscious and more based on the data that were captured, this company may show more concern or be more responsible from an economical standpoint, from an environmental standpoint, and also from a social standpoint, thinking about the communities that may be integrated or on the development of competences of employees, as we were just saying. So to become more conscious, the fourth dimension, I would say, is a more social aspect that involves society, so a much broader view. We should think about using collective intelligence and co-creation, starting from different technological possibilities, to become what we call a conscious company of the future that uses technology as a lever to become a more conscious organization, which is managed with a greater purpose than just being innovative from a technological standpoint. It will be an innovative company on different dimensions and will be able to evolve, to move forward, to be perennial, with a true meaning for those who work at the organization and also for those who consume the products that are manufactured or the services provided. So, to be meaningful. Elaine, thank you very much for your contribution. It was a great pleasure to chat with you, to talk about this topic, which is of interest for all of us at this time. And I hope we can talk more about it in the future. I would like to thank you for your time and tell you that it was a great pleasure to be with you. Thank you very much for the invitation. And feel free to get in touch with me to learn more about our research projects. It will be a pleasure to inform you. And I would also like to congratulate Klabin on this brilliant initiative to promote innovation. Thank you.